What's up, y'all? So today was kind of like a sad day and a good day. I had to sell something, but I also bought something as well. And the thing that I sold was the Lumix G7. And the thing that I bought was Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brooks, and I'm a filmmaker based right here in Chicago. My channel is about pretty much helping you grow as a videographer and as a photographer. So if that sounds like something that interests you, man, make sure you sub to the channel, hit the notification bell, and follow me on my social media at Brookssmedia, obviously. Today, I have to kind of not make amends, but kind of retract on some things, or not even retract, but I feel like if I recommend something to you guys, at the very least, if I end up selling that product or getting something in, in exchange for that product, it's my job to tell you that. And also to give you reasons why I made the choice that I made. So, let me give you the reason why I sold the G7. Recently, maybe like a week or two ago, depends on when I drop this video, I had a job. And in that job, the client specifically asked for a 2-camera setup. Me having a GH5 and a G7, obviously I'm good. Now I want to say this, I already knew this going in about the G7, but I really didn't think it was going to be an issue, so I never really bothered with it. So for some of those who don't know, the G7 actually has a recording limit for the most part, but there's a way for you to hack into the camera, almost like jailbreak it, if you say, so to speak, and to extend that limit where you can record in 4K even longer. So I did that, okay? For the most part, for my videos, for my content specifically, it worked well. Then we fast forward to the job now, right? I'm recording these performances of these kids for long takes, okay? Now granted, I have my GH5 in this case, when that does happen, I can switch over, but that's not something I really want to have to worry about. So with these long files on a G7, now they're gonna be broken up into different parts, specifically because I shot in 4K. So I get back home next day, I'm checking the file system, I'm like, okay, these files are too big, so I've gone ahead and dropped down my quality, but still shoot at a high bit rate, so when I upscale, it still looks good. Prime example, my past few videos that you guys saw is actually be filmed in 1080p, just at a high bit rate, and I just upscaled to 4K. Appreciate even know the difference. So anyway, I go on a G7 and I end up shooting in a Kodak AV, it's like AVN HD or AVC HD. I end up shooting that Kodak, come back home, these files are really different. They're not even MP4 files or even H.26 files. No, they're MST files. So I'm assuming that's just a Kodak because it's just an older Kodak, and it's just, it's flexible, you know what I mean? It worked, but I say it's about as gradable as cell phone footage, so that's not saying much. But for what I needed it for, it actually served the purpose. I don't want to have situations like that again. Well, let's just go ahead and get down to the reasons why I sold the G7. Reason number one, that file system, trash, I didn't like it. It served its purpose. If you're not a content creator, honestly, the file size that you get is more than enough. But if you're a professional, you're gonna run into that issue, so I just advise you to stay away from the G7 if you are a professional. Number two, no IBIS. I never thought how much the GH5 would spoil me with IBIS. Having that type of stabilization, especially when you vlog or doing any type of handheld movements. I mean, most of the footage that I got at that job that I was at, I was able to take off my Weeble S in this Rocket handheld and got some really smooth footage. So I kind of got spoiled by IBIS. The G7 lacked that. Next, the SD card slot was at the bottom. So when there's time for me to change my SD card slot, I actually have to take the camera off of the tripod, open the battery compartment, and then pop an SD card in there. I hate that. As a professional, that's just like a no-no. You always want your SD card slot on the side of the camera so it's easily accessible for you to change and do whatever you need to do. But for the most part, that's my main, those are my main gripes about the G7. So what did I get in place of the G7? Well, I'll show you. I got the Lumix G85. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking, man, the G7 and the G85 are pretty similar when it comes to video bit rates and codecs. What are the main differences that you notice with the G85 to make you jump ship? Well, great question. I'll tell you. Take another little sip. I mean, this is after hours, so I figure why not? So even with the G7 and the G85 being very similar in specs, the way they handle their file system management is completely different. So here, I have an SD card already in it, and with the G7, it'll tell me yo, you only got 20 minutes of record time if you meant to record in 1080p 60 frames per second. Here, I get 2 hours because, it doesn't have that file system format. So I go from being on the record just continuously in 20 minutes to 2 hours. So to the SD card slot fills up. That's a complete different, we're in a different ball game right now. Next, I know this seems crazy, but I like the build of the G85. It's almost like the A6600 for like GH5. Okay, maybe not like the A6600. I could be reaching a little bit there. It could be the liquor. For me anyway, it kind of just has that solid build that I like in the camera, and it has a very good grip. So I would say this, between the G7 had a good grip, but the G85 seems a little bit deeper. So if you are somebody who's doing photography and you want to have that solid build, like you hear the ibis in this joint, like you hear that, right? Like it's solid. You know what I mean? It's a solid camera. So build quality, I don't know. Even though I'm pretty sure they're the same, I just like the build of the G85 more. But let's not get it twisted here. The G85 is about dumb as a G7 in a lot of ways. Like prime example, you can't shoot full HD in 24 frames per second, but you can shoot it in 30, and then they also let you shoot 720p in 30 frames per second. It's like, well, bro, I definitely don't need that. You could at least put 24p in here. Now, granted, you could just shoot in 1080p 60, and then it's going to convert that to a 24 frames per second timeline. So it's usable, but you only technically get the true 24 frames per second in 4K, which most people will want that in. So I get it, you know, but still, don't force the choice on me, okay? Like, give me the option. Next, just like the G7, it does have a crop in 4K. You know, it is what it is. It sucks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like if you are in a Micro Four Thirds sensor, you're already cropped enough. What's the point of having a crop on a 4K sensor? But you know, it is what it is. Also, what I noticed, like with the custom dials, when I'm in movie mode in 4K, I guess since it's cropped, it gives me like the borders that I mentioned I'm gonna be looking at, and I guess it's cropping in. But when I switch over to like C1 or something like that, 1080p is almost like it's shot, you know, like a 4x3, and you gotta scale it down yourself. I haven't tested it yet because I haven't done anything with this camera, but it's just something I noticed. But overall, I bought this camera to serve a specific need. This camera is not to, you know, it's not made to replace my GH5 in no way, shape, form, or fashion. You know what I mean? Like, I just bought an SD card. So I'm gonna review it so I can show you guys when I shoot in 400 megabits per second all intra on the GH5. I haven't shot in that codec ever, so I'm very interested in doing that. So again, this is not made to replace it. I bought this to serve a specific job. And if you're a videographer who has something like a GH5, you need a backup cam, this is the camera you want to get, or maybe a G9. It depends on your budget. But for what I got this for, that's also like one of the main reasons why I end up switching cameras anyway. I only have to pay a difference of $100 to get the G85. Why not? It has IBIS, has everything I need. This is the camera to go to. This is not a review on the G85 at all, but this is just letting you guys know that I sold the G7. I know I recommend it to you guys, and I still recommend it for people who are just starting out as videographers. Like, it's a very good camera. But for professionals who are gonna be shooting like interviews when they have that second angle and don't have to worry about record limits, G85 be your best option. But before we go, I got something for you guys. Could be the liquor, I could just be excited, I don't know, but I got something for y'all. So if you haven't seen my review on the Fine headset, wireless headset, so make sure you go check it out. I'm pretty sure I made it pop up here by now, but I'm actually gonna give this away. It's not a system that I will be using or be needing, but I figure like somebody who's just starting out in the videography game or just starting to become a professional, this may be very useful to you. So how do you win? Very simple. All you gotta do is already be subscribed to the channel, like and comment on this video, and boom, you're instantly entered. I'm not gonna open this up to everybody. Like, whoever stumbles upon this video and subscribes in enough time, they'll gain the benefit from it. But I want to make my giveaways important to the people that's already here. As you can see, I didn't even label that there's gonna be a giveaway in this video. So if you made it this far, dope for you. You have a chance to win a great headset for the free. This is gonna be US only. I'm sorry, I know I have people in the UK to watch my videos, but you know what I'm saying? I just, you know, it's cheaper. Sorry. But again, just to enter the giveaway, just make sure you already subscribe, like, and comment in the video, and boom, you enter. Other than that, let me know what you guys thought about the video, the new setup. Also, if you own the G7, have you considered jumping to the G85? Or if you own the G85, are there some things that I need to know about this camera that may either be a good thing or a bad thing? Let me know. It's your boy Sean Brooks, man. I'm out. Deuces.